Today, we're going to go over the top 3 carnivore BS, nonsensical, absolutely quackadoodle myths, or dare I say, lies. Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to my very provocative channel where I like to call out the nonsense, the foolery, the fluffery that is spinning with diets. Let's start by talking about the carnivore diet, which it's kind of the same as the ketogenic diet because you pretty much should ride the line of carnivore, eat a little bit of plants for the prebiotic fiber. Let's get into it. The reason why I'm doing the top 3 is because so many clients that I get consultations are struggling because they were told these concepts. Number 1, prime. Eat as much protein as you want, then you can fast on top of that. You're going to fix everything in your body, the acne, the joint pain, the fibromyalgia, the menstrual cycle issues, and a ton of weight loss, and you're going to be epic. But the truth really is that when you eat a lot of protein, and I've talked about this in several videos, you got to have the equipment to break that shite down, like stomach acid. How many people out there have hypo or hyperchlorhydria? And with that, they're having biliary duct issues, liver, kidney, gallbladder, pancreas. They're not even producing enough of the digestive enzymes to even break down their meats. People are taking complexes like amylase, protease, lipase. If you have good digestion, what are you doing taking all of that? You only take what you need. But I'm getting this with a lot of clients who are just slamming down their protein because they were told that's what you're supposed to do and that it will have no effect on your health, your weight, and your blood sugar, which takes me to the second top absolute myth. You cannot, listen to me very well, you cannot run on liver glycogen or blood sugar. The reason why I think that these myths, these lies, these foolery keep growing is because people are starting to use continuous glucose monitors or glucometers testing their blood sugar, and it's skyrocketing or it's bouncing like a tennis ball. It's hyper, then it's hypo, and it's dysglycemic. People feel like crap. And it's been told that that's okay, you know. Your blood sugar can be almost diabetic high because, you're going to use that glucose as energy. You're not going to store it. Why would you store glucose over 100? Ketones, abysmal. So this is the myth, right? You can't get enough energy from liver glycogen. That's going to burn you out in about 10 minutes at the gym. And if you're not sleeping well, have chronic constipation, allergies, loose stool, stress, chemical exposure, itises, pain, you're going to struggle. My people, you're going to struggle with your adrenal system and the thyroid by trying to use liver glycogen as your main source of energy because you got all day to get through. If you're experiencing chronic fatigue, I'm sorry, you're not going to get energy off of that massive ribeye where you have stored glycogen. It's not going to happen. You're going to go up and you're going to crash, just like your stomach acid. I got to throw this one in. Let's make it 4. The fruit, right? People are eating fruit on carnivore because they can't balance their electrolytes, or they can't get into ketosis and they're tired and their hair starts falling out. So they add fruit, not only for the electrolytes, but they're trying to restore what? Muscle glycogen. So they always feel a little bit better. Like, I feel better with fruit. Until you don't. Because you can't store glycogen in the muscle on fruit. That's another 10 minutes. So what are we at? Like 20 minutes now of energy? But what it does do by eating fruit and meat, which is nonsensical, is that you can get your minerals to stay within the cell instead of being bled out through the urine. Sugar makes you hold on. Fructose sugar makes you hold on to cellular water. And a lot of you are struggling with your blood pressure, chronic dehydration. And if you can't hold on to your minerals, you've got like heart palps and nausea and facial twitching and legs locking up and rib cramps and all kind of weird stuff. And so you think that you're feeling better eating fruit, but in actuality, you're just not feeling as bad as not adapting. But if you keep doing this, right, and no one's talking about the, one step up, two steps down of that whole histamine candida explosion. Did anybody tell you that? Fruit is going to make those candida spores explode way more than table sugar. Fruit is not your friend when you have a gut dysbiosis. The candida, that yeast, that fungus. I get people like, how do you deal with anal itching? Yes, I said it. The bunghole, it itches. Or white tongue, cracked nails, broken blood vessels around the nose, dandruff, skin issues, rashes. And people become addicted to the fruit like it's candy. Then it's like not really a meat-based diet anymore. But the one that I really think is dangerous, besides not getting into ketosis because you're eating too much protein and not enough fat, which is you're not getting fat from fat. You get fat from broken hormones. It's insulin, because insulin's going to take the sugar in your blood from all that protein, or when you fast and go into gluconeogenesis too often, you are going to spike and secrete bolus amounts of insulin and be in storage mode and not burning mode. Legit. And the very, very last dangerous one is that if you're not taking a poop producing stool, you're using it all. What planet is this nonsense coming from? I mean, people are pulling it out of their itchy bung. I mean, what? Pooping? You're toxic. The only time someone uses up the majority of the protein is when it's a lean meat and your gut wall is strong. Otherwise, you're dehydrated. You probably have low blood pressure. Your body is pulling fluid from the colon to try to hydrate them dang cells. When you drop out your carbs, you dump a lot of water and minerals. Hydration is not just about drinking freaking water. It's about balancing your sodium, and especially knowing how to balance the potassium, which is very hard on carnivore, and magnesium and water. In some cases calcium, but mainly magnesium, sodium, potassium, and then the water. If you're hearing concepts like carnivore is a weight loss diet, it's not. It's an anti-inflammatory diet meant to be done for the short term, not for the long term. It can be great to get your inflammation down, your mental clarity back, get your eating addictions under control, but if you're not in ketosis, you will rebound. And for those who said that they've done it a gazillion years, they're not telling you the whole truth. And I know it's hard for people to believe, but you're going to have a bad day. When you cut out your carbs, you are vulnerable for hypoglycemia, the constipation, but really the dehydration is off the chain. It is so easy to get heart palps, racing heart, headaches, muscle cramps, facial twitches, tinnitus, vertigo, on a carnivore diet and a keto diet, both of them really. When you cut out the starches and sugars and sweet fruit, the solution is not to eat sweet fruit. The solution is to either find foods that are high in potassium, like meat broth, not bone broth, meat stock, or seafood like oysters that are high in potassium. You're not going to get all the potassium that you need from meat, contrary to what some of these people are saying. You're not. You're going to get about, per 4 ounces, about 70 grams of potassium. Milligrams. That's not enough. You need to hit about 1,000. And that's why I propose avocados. They're so high in potassium. And when you don't have that potassium, you feel bad. You feel really bad. But what happens is people will lose weight and take down other inflammatory things, and they'll just ignore the twitches or the palps or the nausea or the aversion to eating. They'll ignore it, and then they'll just preach that carnivore is like the miracle diet, which it is not. You have to change your whole life, not a diet. You have to change the way you think, the way you breathe, the way you walk, move, connect to a circadian rhythm. Get all the toxins, or the majority of them, out of your life, and of course the mind-body connection. But eating high fat on a carnivore diet, and I mean high fat, moderate to low protein, the quality of your protein totally matters. I don't care if you're broke. Save your pennies. It matters, especially if you have histamine, mast cell activation. Don't eat fruit. Just don't. And if you have hypoglycemia and thyroid issues on carnivore, eat every couple of hours. Get your fat over 200. But that myth that you're going to get fat eating fat, it's absolute nonsense. It's your hormones and your broken digestion, like the broken gallbladder. No one talks about that. You can get fat because you're going to store that. If the gallbladder is not working, it becomes a toxin. Blood sugar all over the place, insulin all over the place, sleep all over the place, constipation, loose stool. The diet alone is not the solution. It's the entire mind, dedication, discipline, educational, N=1 experimentation on your own body, and not just believing everything you hear, including what I say. Challenge me all freaking day. That's what we should all do. Comment below if this resonates with you. Comment below if you're having difficulties losing weight on carnivore, that you've plateaued or you're rebounding, or you started eating some plants again and you're having a hard time with it. Some do, some don't. Comment below. Also, yes, I have now pushed my challenge again because my house build has started. I will show you at the end of this video, and I've been working so hard to balance, really juggle it all, that by the end of the day, right, because I run a course where I cover all 3 diets, and I did a whole written course and video, both, they get both, on the nutrition in foods, plants versus meats. Obviously organ meats are going to win 100 times over plants, but I did a video on that. But there I really went and did the deep dive. So I cover all 3 diets, because a lot of you can't do carnivore because your gallbladder is broken, or you have problems with your kidneys, and you can't eat carbs and you can't eat fat, so just up the just don't. There is a way. I also do consultations. Some people are like, she only cares about consultations. I'm about to sneeze. Whew. My dog Deo's right there. I just did a sneeze. But yeah, I do consultations. This is how I live. This is how I provide information, help people, and that helps me, obviously. And I've done it for years, and I have a damn good track record. But I run the course, and I also do consultations, and I'm trying to get this challenge done, and I will. I've done one before 6 years ago. It's just my life has been crazy ever since Slovid and leaving California, because I wanted to breathe air and have my shoulders be nice and clean from little pinholes. me not doing that nonsense. So going from Cali, which prevented me from not finishing my book, actually the horse. But now my house is getting started, my people. Oh my goodness. Finally. My old builder, after, 9 months of sitting, and he's like, oh, I'm going to start it. I'm going to start in October, November, December, January, February. We spoke in June. February, March, April. I had to find someone else. And it was so cool because that person got to me within a week and was like, we're building. I was like, oh my goodness. It's worth it though. Life is difficult and it's amazing at the same time. There's something in me that's driven, and I've been very consistent over the years to warn you guys on how to be careful. Be careful. I think I'm even harder now on being quasi-critical because we've just been lied to our entire lives about everything, and especially from Slovid, foolery, fuckery, and lies. And I get pissed. And how people will push things that don't make no sense, like not pooping or just eating as much protein as possible. We're all the same. Our digestions are all the same. So I'm going to keep doing it. I don't even care. I trigger some people. I don't care. But I do care is that people are happy. I myself have gone through so much, and it's so gratifying to figure it out, and it's so nice to see other people figure it out as well. It's like a sort of a camaraderie between us that we woke up, the light bulb went on, and we're going to do whatever we can to live a full, enriched life. Yeah. Remember, life should be tough, because without pain you can't have joy. But just don't give up. Energy 56 going on 57. Legit. And I'm out. Peace. Struggle and joy ate you backwards.